Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Confucius.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mentality. It's your boy Gambo, and as always, I'm here with Simmons. Today, we're discussing beauty standards. Who is perceived to hold the world's beauty standard today? And where do black people fall in the echelon of this beauty standard? Stay tuned as we chop it up in another interesting episode. All right, welcome back to the show, guys. Drew, how you feeling today, bro?
Fantastic, bro. Just get off the road. I'm up. I'm ready. Had a good day today. How you feeling, bro?
Can't complain, man. Just chilling, man. Getting ready to get some food in me, and it's gonna be a good evening. But
Nice.
I know we was talking earlier, and I actually had sent you a picture, and we started a conversation about something random that I thought would be an interesting topic for an episode. Just to kind of recap for our listeners out there, I sent you a picture of two attractive young women, both to be around the same age. Similar body types, I would say, very similar. Not exactly the same, but very similar. One of them was Stassi, who is Kylie Jenner's best friend, I believe, or something like that. And the other is Lori Harvey, who is Steve Harvey's stepdaughter. Very attractive young woman.
Damn, really?
Yeah, man. Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter. Feel bad for that man.
Damn.
Yeah. But so I asked you, random question, which one of these two chicks you think look better? And the whole reason why that conversation came about was because I was talking to someone about beauty standards. We were having a conversation about who we believe still holds the beauty standard and why not. So to start this conversation off, being that I just prefaced this entire conversation that we're about to have, who do you think holds the beauty standard in the world, or even in the United States?
Black women. No contest.
And I completely disagree with you.
You're wrong, but it's cool, man.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool if I'm wrong. But so here's a conversation that I was having before I sent you those pictures. I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about beauty standards. Now, in those beauty standards, we both believe that actually white women still hold the beauty standard in the world today. But here was where I was coming from. I was saying that although white women hold the beauty standard in the world, I think that when it comes to a more local standard level, mixed women are more fetishized over. And therefore, I think they hold more of a higher standard of beauty when it comes to local standards, if that makes any shred of sense.
So it's just a roundabout way of saying black women. I mean, it's cool, bro.
No. That's bullshit and you know it. Okay, so I think, actually elaborate. Why do you think black women hold the standard of beauty? And we'll get into it.
Because if you look at anybody who's famous today, and they are an attractive woman, there are certain qualities that they all tend to have in common. Thick, juicy lips, baby hair slicked back, fat old butt. That's all historical black female imagery. And you can't tell me that any white chick that is popular nowadays, any Spanish chick, any female that is popular nowadays, besides like the supermodels, because they adhere to that body type of like slim, athletic type figure. Everybody looking for some big ass and big lips. That's been black since day one.
Touche. And that's 100. And that's fair. But here's the thing. When we talk about what everyone's looking for, and like you mentioned, there's a stereotype of typically being thin and small, that you'll be surprised is actually not a small subset. It's a large subset. And besides that, you mentioned the attributes of women that people are looking for. But the thing is, they're not looking for it on black women. And that's the issue. Those attributes they're looking for those big lips, the slick back hair, the fat ass, the curvy body, all of that. But they're not really looking for it on black women. So with that being said, I can't really say that black women are the standards of beauty. If people are looking for character, like people want everything that's black, but just not on a black person. So with that being said, I can't say they're the standards of beauty, unfortunately. Would you agree with that?
No, not at all. Because the
Mm.
standard of beauty is all the features of a black woman. I ain't say that black women are the most sought after or the most fetishized or the most that people want to get, but all the features of a black woman. They want the, I guess it's having your cake and eating it too
Yeah,
type
hate
scenario.
that expression, but yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's shitty because black women are usually typically the least desired women. If you like line up a bunch of races and shit,
You
most
said white
people will
woman
choose a
is?
black woman. Black women are
Oh, I was about to
typically
say.
the least desired race,
Right.
and if you line up a whole all the races of females, they usually choose black women last. But they will look for all the features of the black woman.
Absolutely. And so that's what I'm saying. That I think just because we can both agree on that, I can't say that black women are then the standards of beauty. Like certain features of black women are standards of beauty on other races. I absolutely agree with that. I just don't think when, like you even said it, if you line up a bunch of races of people, like the black woman's gonna get picked last. So when it comes to standards of beauty, I think if you ask more guys, like most guys are probably gonna pick the white chick, not just because of her features, but mainly because she's white, and
I think that's dead wrong.
mainly because
I
she's
think
white,
that's
and also I
false.
think they like the way they look. Like for example, if you put a blonde chick versus a light skinned chick, unless she's mixed, most likely they're gonna go for the chick who's blonde. But that's what I was saying when it comes to like the standard level. When it comes to the standard level of beauty, like meaning if you in college or if you around regular people, they probably looking for the chick who's mixed. Which that I agree with you on because I think with the thing with mixed women is that people have this imagery where they have everything that's black, right? They have all the black things, all the lips, all the ass, the body, all of that. But they also have like that whiteness, that white skin. They still have like a bit of that whiteness in it, and they still have some of those blue eyes and some of those white features, and that they like that. So I think when you look at the standards of beauty, it is like one sided. I think a lot of times we also look for like a little bit of a mesh, if that makes any sense.
All right, so the thing about mixed women, why mixed women are so attractive, it's the same reason why a white chick with a tan is so attractive. It's
Is
just
she
like
a
we all like medium skin tone. Like medium skin tone is like a universal known.
exactly?
Like everyone knows like a nice tan looking, like tan is a nice color of skin.
Is it?
I'm telling you it is, goddamn
I,
it.
I
Yes
don't
it
think
is,
it is. I think
motherfucker.
that shit weird, but that's just me personally.
Nigga, that's racist, motherfucker.
That's not racist. Come on, it's a preference. I don't think
I know it's a preference though.
if I'm going for a white chick, I'm gonna go for a white chick. I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't want you to try to be like something that you're not. That's just my personal preference. I mean,
I'm not saying that like just because everyone likes tan doesn't mean that we automatically don't like white or black. It's just that
right.
universally that is like most people will have no issue going with a tan person.
Agreed. Someone who was
And that's just off of color, not region or anything, just
someone
the
who looks
color.
mixed. Right. And that's why I'm saying I think that's the standard of beauty when it comes to this the average person in layman terms.
But that's one aspect. The same way skin color is one aspect, big butt is one aspect. They're
But
not like skin color is not its own because skin color is the chosen thing. That's like the overall it trumps everything else because you can have someone who has all the features that you like and not the skin color that you like, or you can have someone who has all the features that you like and not the big butt, but they have everything else. It's one piece of the puzzle. That's why I say black women are the standard of beauty because they have so many of the pieces of the puzzle. Skin color is just not one of them.
yeah, see, that's a good point, and I think you're right when it comes to the skin color part. I agree with that. But the thing is, I'm not saying that people like mixed girls because of their skin color only. I'm saying they like them because they have like the best of both worlds. At least that's what people think of. They're like, oh, well, I can still have like all these other features that white people might have. And also, when we say mixed in this context, obviously, I mean like white and black. And mixed could be like Asian black. It could be whatever, two races. I think people just typically like that mesh. But it's because they have multiple different features that are mixed together that people kind of like gravitate towards. It's just almost like if you look at Instagram models, they all have that same look with like the curly hair. Not all of them, but a lot of them have like that same curly hair. Who are light skinned, thick or red bone they call them. That kind of vibe. And so that's why I feel like when it comes to the standards, people typically gravitate towards that. But you're right. Black women do have a lot of the features, but I think it's more so physical features. It's more so like the lips and the butt, and it's also I think that's just like a trend right now. It's like a flash in the pan because if you even go back towards like the '90s where everything's like more chic and people wanted to be like more slim, things are not necessarily like you have a big ass. In our culture, it was, but it didn't translate to other cultures. Now you're starting to see that where people are going overboard, and you're starting to see people like even white girls who are starting to make themselves look like they're light skinned. And I think there's a reason why that is because being light skinned is becoming like being mixed. Sorry, is becoming more of like a popular thing. People is becoming more prominent. Before there was like no mixed people, and now you're getting that. And so I feel like black women features are like a flash in the pan for people. That's going past. It's not necessarily a standard of beauty. I feel like maybe now a little bit, but I still don't think black women will be considered to have the standard of beauty in the forefront. I don't think that's the case.
So what is the universal throughout most of like time? I know like 100, 200 years ago, things were totally different, but like what do you think is like right now the universal common thread of what we think is beautiful?
European looks, without a doubt, and that goes for men and women.
For y'all that don't know, I'm currently in Europe as we speak, and damn, bro, I think you might be right.
It's no, it's just not even a
They're,
question.
they're, they're gorgeous. They are absolutely gorgeous out here. Like it's like Eastern Europe. That they have a whole unique look to them,
Right.
and they mix race as well. I know it's like they're all saying Caucasian race, but like you have like a Polish, Hungarian, Latvian, and then like a little bit of like Spain or something thrown in there. It's a combination that no one's ever seen before, and it's mind blowing how different people can look from what we're exposed to. It's totally different. But yeah, you ain't wrong, man. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'll give you that.
And I'm not saying that like they're necessarily gorgeous. I'm saying that's what people hold to be the standard. So that being the standard of beauty doesn't mean other people don't look as good. I think that's what people attribute. Like if you don't look close to this, you're not beautiful. That's what I mean by standard of beauty. So for example, for the longest times, the darker you were, like just bringing color into the context, the darker you are, like the less attractive you look. We can even take it back to like Hitler, like like you had the blonde hair, blue eyed. That's like a standard of beauty. People still kind of hold that today, like not in a racist way, but like it's just like, hey man, you have blue eyes and you have blonde hair, and it's beautiful. The closer you are to that, the higher you probably are on that scale. And the further you are from that, then the probably lower you probably are. And that's just facts. I mean, we're starting to see maybe like things changing a little bit. And when I say this, I don't think of it from like a black perspective, because you're used to like a certain culture. I'm saying the world. I'm not saying like us. I'm saying what the world sees everything like. So if you look at it, you got like the Scandinavian folks, you got the Eastern European folks, Spanish, then you got like Asians, then you got like Indians, and then way at the bottom there you got like black folk who have very different features from these people, right?
But do you think that is because of how we look, or because of how we are portrayed in terms of like our mannerisms, our culture, things like that?
Both. Both of them. BOFUM. Both of them. Nah, it's because of both reasons, I think. What do you think?
I think it's more so because of how we're portrayed. Because if you have eyes and you see black people, like we look good. Like collectively, overall, we look fucking amazing, dog. Like and I don't know if it's like Black Americans specifically, as opposed to like Native Africans or something, but like let's call a spade a spade. Black people in America were essentially bred like dogs. So like over time, you get closer and closer to the standard that you're trying to get. With statistically taller, a little heavier, stronger. Like we're natural born, have a natural born athletic look.
Right.
And with a natural born athletic look, you usually got like better cheekbone, better bone structure type stuff. Like those types of things are like also a standard of beauty. It's like how your face is structured and stuff like that. So
But that's my point. Their standard of beauty is like dictated by whom?
I think that's actually biology, because it's like it's based off like we just have a liking of like pronounced or prominent cheekbones for one.
Is that biology? I got to
I
see the
think it
study.
is.
I got to see the study. I got to see it.
I mean, it's all bro science right now, but like I
Right.
got my PhD in bro science university, so
But see, that's my thing. I think a lot of times when we talk about things that like look good, like for example, you could like we could dissect it and say, for the longest time, people were like, oh yeah, you have a thin, long nose. That's like beautiful, right? Black folk
Hmm.
don't got no long, thin nose. We don't have that. That's not what we have. That doesn't mean you still can't look good without a long, thin nose. But I think for so long, people look for those things in people, and the closer you are to that, the more attractive you're deemed to be. Versus if you don't have those.
Do you think that the European standard is the same for men?
Absolutely. I think being white in general, I think it's like the standard of beauty, without a doubt.
All right, we can make the argument for females is it'd be Central Europe, European and stuff. I truly think to my core, black men are the most fetishized group
Fetishized, not standard of beauty.
of the
Two
on the
different
planet.
things. You can want to fuck a
But
monkey. You
how
could want to
though?
fuck. You could want to fuck King Kong.
Whoa!
Wait. I know. You could want to fuck King Kong because you got jungle fever, but you not gonna say King Kong look better than Brad Pitt. It's just it's the most fucked up way I could put that. I need to edit this shit out.
I
But
mean, but hold on, because like not every white dude is Brad Pitt.
you're absolutely right. But I think on standard, on average, if you put a white dude and a black dude, come on, who you think gonna win that? On
Black
average,
dude,
no,
the
he's
black
not.
dude.
Cause you're black and you're attractive. You see yourself that way. But on average, not the way you and our culture sees it. The world, the way they see it. That's the reality of it. I'm not saying you're gonna have like 5 black girls in there choosing. I'm saying you got like the world choosing. Like it's not gonna be like that. And it's not that because you don't look better than Brad Pitt. It's just that it is what it is. It's a standard that's being there. It's the standards that's held.
I'm sure someone's got to have done like a study, like a truly like you got two average looking dudes, one black, one white. Ask 5,000 people who looks better. If there's not a study, we should make this a study. I'll go around the world with a friend who looks kind of like me. And we'll just see which one of us you feel like fucking. Well, no, because it's not fucking. It's standard of beauty. I keep conflating the two and putting them
Right.
together.
They're very separate.
It's hard, man.
And I think it is difficult, especially like stepping outside of your frame and looking at the world as the world will see you. Is challenging. But when I look around, it's pretty simple to me. It's pretty easy to determine that. Honestly, it's pretty
Do
obvious.
you feel like that as you walk around and navigate the world and all that, or like do you just notice
Absolutely.
it?
I just notice it. I mean, I know I'm very attractive, so I mean, I don't give a shit. But like, I definitely notice it. I definitely notice like the way people look at each other, and I notice the way people see things about each other. It's pretty obvious. Like, you know, it is what it is. But I just feel like white is the standard of beauty, and there's no question about that.
So you think more people outside of the white race would date a white person
Absolutely,
before
in
they
a
would date a
heartbeat.
black person?
In a heartbeat,
Yeah.
both men and women. Like, it's not even like a question.
Mm-mm.
And just to clarify, when we say date, that also might be conflating a little bit of like personality or how people are portrayed, like you mentioned earlier, with looks. So that could be a point. Maybe not necessarily date them, but who they would find it more attractive. That's the key. That's
I'm
the
just going
key
straight
measure.
off of looks.
Straight off of looks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess like I'm having a hard time looking at it like that because I don't walk around like that. Like I don't have that in the back of my head at all. It's like not being like the standard of beauty. Like I see myself as a standard of beauty. I don't know if that's like a dick thing for me to say, but it's like, hey, like
No, that means that you just hold yourself in a high regard, and you hold yourself to a high standard, and that's good. People should do that, but I feel like I wonder what it was like 100 years ago, 50 years ago for people who were like black, probably, because I feel like it definitely wasn't like that. Like now, we definitely had the means to be able to see ourselves that way. You can't tell me shit. I know the way I look, so you know what I mean. Like it's not to sound cocky or
yeah.
anything like that. I know what I look like, but 100 years ago, maybe I probably wouldn't feel like that because of everything that was going on. It just will be a very different environment, definitely very different atmosphere.
I think it's probably the last thing you're worrying about is how you look or how you think
Facts.
other people see you really in terms of like attractive wise.
Yeah.
Damn, this kind of bummed me out, bro. Shit.
Well, sorry to
I ain't
burst
gonna
your
lie
bubble,
to you.
but yeah. So going back, I think like especially when it comes to women, like you definitely see like the black features of women, of black women, definitely fetishize on other cultures and other people, and it's becoming more and more popular. But I feel like this whole big butt, big booty, big lip trend, because people are taking this way to the max and it's getting grotesquely disgusting. I think you're gonna see that pass.
What do you think the next trend's gonna be?
I have no idea, but things seem to go in cycles, so I'm probably gonna say skinny and chic. Who knows?
I can see that.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of like Gen Z, like all their clothes are they're going back to like the baggy clothes type of look,
Yeah.
mom jeans and all that. I'm really focusing on like kind of like how Billie Eilish is like, don't
Yeah.
even look at my body, just like look at me and stuff. No one knows what the hell she's working with underneath that 5XL sweatshirt and all that. I think we're gonna go to a genderless, same color. Like I feel like it's only gonna be like eventually anyway. Like I forget what show it was, but like everyone was wearing unisex gray jumpsuits and they were all tan and they spoke like a combination of like English, Spanish, and Chinese or something like that.
That's
And
the
everyone
future.
just like over time of like all this all the mixing of the races, everyone just became one the same shit.
And that's the beauty of it. I think CNN actually put out like it might have been like 4 years ago or something like that. They put out like a article and it had like 50 different faces of the future in 50 years or something like that. And it was like all these mixed looking people and it was beautiful. It just looked crazy though. Like everyone looked mad different. Like you have all these races that you would never think would go together, just mixing together. And you're like, whoa, like what is going on? But it's like, yo, that's really possible within next half a century to next century. It's probably gonna be like that.
Because we're already seeing combinations of people that we've never been exposed to. Like there's like Norwegian Kenyans out there now, like
Literally.
and like no one's ever seen that combination before, and
Crazy.
like it comes out amazing. And you got this
Beautiful.
Chinese Argentinian, and then it's like you get those two together, you making something people have never seen before, and like
Right.
it just everyone just keeps getting better and better because survival of the fittest. Like usually, like better looking people will tend to populate with good looking people. Over time, it's just we're gonna get more beautiful and beautiful. Hopefully, at least it's just me being optimistic. And then like if we like could time travel 200 years in the future, like the basic people will like have us dropping to our knees, like groveling almost. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to even think about.
Yeah. It just yeah. It's it's hard being black, yo. Like you just notice it, especially
But
like I think it's just going back to this whole standard of beauty thing, especially for being black. It's prominent. Like can't help but think that the closer you are to being far from who you are, is more attractive to people. It's bugged out. Like the lighter you are, the more attractive you are. Think about that.
I
I don't see it like that because I mean, like I don't feel that way, but the vast majority of people I think probably do.
like I could change a lot of motherfuckers' opinions on that one, man. It's just not even from like, oh look at me. It's like I can show you thousands
Right.
of the most gorgeous people you've ever seen, and they're as black as the T-shirt I'm wearing right now. It's just that they haven't been exposed to it. That's what I think the big issue is because the exposure is predominantly Caucasian. Once you get exposed, and everywhere you turn, you see beautiful black faces and stuff, things might change. But
Mm.
most of us aren't exposed to beautiful black people all the time, so I can see why. That's because that's all they know is European features, European people.
That's a good point. I mean, that's a good point. Maybe it is exposure. You're right. I mean, but it's also like hard to say that because if you look in all other cultures, it's almost like that. Like if you look at Indian culture, you look at Asian culture, you look at like even Black and African culture. It's we tend to uplift, and I don't want to make this like a colorism conversation. We tend to like uplift,
It's kind
you
of what
know, a
it
little
is,
bit.
though.
It kind of ties in. Like colorism does tie into standard of beauty. Like it's kind of fucked up, but you tend to uplift the lighter skinned folks over the dark skin ones. And the dark skin chick or the dark skin dude could be like way much more attractive than the light skin person, right? They can have all the facial features that make that person look crazy good, but because like they have that one thing, it's like you're elevated almost, and that goes for like other features. To me, it's almost like who gets to decide that blue eyes looks better than I don't know green eyes or some shit or black or brown eyes. Like who's deciding that? And it's weird to me that like we think in that manner to this day. You feel me?
Well, it's also something that we're not always exposed to because blue eyes is a mutation. I think brown eyes is pretty much the standard everywhere you go
Mm-hmm.
because most of the people in the world have brown eyes. Asians, Indians, Africans, we all got brown eyes.
Right.
When you get up north and you get farther away from the equator, then the eyes change colors. So therefore, it's unique. We're not used to seeing that.
So do you think standards of beauty are generated based on uniqueness or scarcity?
Absolutely.
Mm.
I think that's a excellent way to put it because if you haven't seen, same thing with like mixed race,
Right.
because we couldn't mix races like that up until recently.
It's crazy.
So that's why light skin, high yellow, red bones look super appealing because we weren't able to have that, or it was taboo back in the day when you were that because it showed that you're a product of a slave master, you're a product of rape essentially.
Right. And honestly, like I think I would definitely agree to some of that because I think you're right. When you see something you haven't seen before, there's definitely some kind of intrigue. There's mystique to it, and you're naturally just drawn closer to be like, "Yo, what's that?" And you want to know more. You want to find out more about it. It's just I think I just take issue to the point to the point where you see someone who is of that. There's that mystique to them, but you know for sure they don't look as good as like something else. You know what I mean? And this is not a war on like light skinned people either. Like I think I'm making this more of a mixed conversation as opposed to like a standard of beauty thing, which I think white people actually really like the standard of beauty, at least in society's eyes. But I don't know if that made any sense.
You lost me a little bit on that last thing you said. You said that just because they're unique, you might you know something that's way better.
Yeah, so someone, that they're unique, right? But just because they're unique doesn't automatically make them more attractive, is my point. So it kind of goes back to, like, I can put, I don't know who's, like, an attractive mixed person out there or who's an attractive
Zendaya.
black person. I really don't find her that attractive. I must
Oh,
be
you
the only
bugging,
one.
dog.
I must be the only
Yeah,
one.
you the only one.
Yeah, I'm the only one. But you know who's really attractive? Zoe Kravitz.
Boom.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, sir.
And she is gorgeous. Maybe it's the eclectic look, right? Not that Zendaya is not attractive. She is. I just don't think she all that. Like me personally, but I digress. Zoe Kravitz? Oh my goodness. You could put Zoe Kravitz next to, I don't know, who's like Lori Harvey. I felt like Lori Harvey looked better than Zoe Kravitz, but I might be the only one who feels that way. That's my point because Zoe Kravitz is like a fetish.
She's got that granola look. I like that shit, dog.
What does that even mean, dog?
Like she makes her own granola and shit, bro. Like she makes her own soap.
Yeah, she got
She
that
wears
natural
gold
look,
socks.
right? She look like she got that natural look, and she just weird and something different about her. So it's natural intrigue, natural mystique that draws you in. But if we looking at features, if we looking at like what makes that person attractive, at least to me, and I think it's also subjective. It's not really objective because beauty is like, I don't think it's in the eye of the beholder, none of that bullshit. But it is a subjective thing. I think Lori Harvey looked way better. Like, what? It's not a comparison for me. She just
The body or the face.
both of them. BOFUM. Like it's just dog. Like she's so bad.
This shit is subjective though, cause you out of pocket with this shit though. You
Okay, here's what I was saying.
Zoe Kravitz, come on.
Zoe Kravitz is gorgeous. I'll be the first one to admit it. Right? But I think what typically draws people closer to Zoe Kravitz is the fact that she's weird. Weird in the sense that they're not used to that. Would you agree with that at all? You like her because you think she makes her own granola, bro. Like,
all right, so you say it's weird. It's not weird. It's just a personality.
no, not personality. Maybe I'm not explaining that right. Weird in the sense that she's unique. It's different. You're not used to that.
Yeah, but I'm used to Lori Harvey. That's why I don't like it.
That's my point. That's my point. You proving my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, although I feel like Lori Harvey is really much more attractive. Maybe I should say much more attractive. She's more attractive.
I actually just looked her up, like more pictures. I only had the one that you sent me, and
Hmm.
like I never actually like seen this chick before. Yeah, I live under a rock, y'all. Excuse me, but holy shit, yeah, she bad.
That's my point. But it's like people wouldn't automatically jump to that. They would jump to Zoe Kravitz because it's
I don't, I
different.
don't, I don't, I don't think so. I think they might jump on Larry Harvey though.
I don't
She,
know
she
about that,
cute.
bro.
Look at
Like
her
you,
teeth, bro. Look at her
bro,
teeth.
and that's another thing. You're black. You can't think of it from a black context. Like you gotta think of it from the
I'm
world,
not.
from the world. If you put white guys, Asian dudes, black dudes, Indian dudes, whoever dudes, green dudes, all dudes, you put them together, and you put them two chicks together, I guarantee you, most of them,
Ooh, I just
right?
looked at Zoe Kravitz. Yeah, it's Zoe Kravitz, bro. The bone structure,
The
dog. That's what
bone
I'm
structure
telling
is
you.
is, is interesting.
You know, fucking cheekbones. It's no joke. Damn.
If you put them together, I guarantee you, more people will probably pick Zoe Kravitz over Lori Harvey, right?
Yeah, you definitely win that bet. I give you that much.
And that's the thing. And I feel like you could put like a subpar looking white chick next to a really bad black chick, and I guarantee you, as long as she's black, especially if she's dark, I guarantee that white woman gonna win every time. Every time.
All right. Now that's
Okay, I'm
definitely wrong because
exaggerating.
not every
I'm
time.
exaggerating.
That's very exaggerated. Let's just be real here.
Yeah, you're right. I'm exaggerating, but she gonna win most of the times, a considerable amount of times,
And it's just based off of looks.
just based off of looks. Which I guess is hard to separate if people are making a decision, right? Because you can't really trick your subconscious mind to say, hey, just pick the person just based off of looks. I mean, hopefully, I think I can, but I mean, that's just me. I don't know.
That's the thing. Is like you're asking someone, hey, who looks better? They're automatically gonna go to a sexual place. So it's like you really can't separate the two of like looks and someone that you would want to sleep with. I mean, like you can appreciate someone's looks and be like acknowledge that they're good looking and not want to sleep with them. I guess. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Yes, you can.
You can. I
Yeah.
mean, but it's not that you don't find them sexually attractive. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's not a fetish. Like, it's not a college white girl talk to a black dude in the bar type relationship, if that makes any sense.
It doesn't. I'm lost.
How do I explain this? So,
Do
college,
you feel like people fuck black dudes just to fulfill the fetish and not because they find us attractive?
not always, but I think a lot of times in college, yes. Not necessarily a fetish, but also maybe to find out what everyone's been talking about. Absolutely. Sorry to break your heart.
Y'all just gonna use me like a piece of meat, and I keep letting y'all. Y'all some bastards, man. Can't stand you hoes. It is what it is.
It is what it
No, I know what I
is.
signed up for.
I mean, no. Do you like? Tell me. Do you feel otherwise? I mean, am I completely bugging? Am I completely left field? Because I might be completely tripping. Actually,
I
people
think so.
listening, please let me know. What do y'all think? Am I completely tripping?
I don't think it's more. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. The fetishizing shit doesn't happen, but I think it's a genuine attraction more than you would believe. I think it would surprise you.
I absolutely agree, but I think when you even look at like black women, right? If you look at like someone even like Lori Harvey, like that's like someone I pick because I think will be able to edge a lot of women out because she has like a lot of black features, but a lot of her features are actually like not really black features inherently.
You say a lot. I'm looking at her as we speak. I have yet to see a lot on this chick's face. She has succulent lips, nice cheekbones, body's on point. I'm missing. Her eyes are brown. I
Look at
don't know,
Lori Harvey's
man.
nose. I'm about to pull up a picture right now.
Her
Look at
nose.
Lori. She does not look like your typical black chick. She's not your typical black average woman on the street. Like my point is that you could pick any average white woman, right? Any average black woman, any average Asian woman, and the average white woman will probably most likely win because that's what people use as the baseline and they think it's like the best. Now you can look at someone like Lori Harvey who's like a beautiful black chick, but if you look at her features, I'm sure she's probably like mixed with something down the line, right? So if you look at her, she has like a lot of like white features to her, like her nose. Just look
You
at
say
her.
her nose. All right, her nose. Her skin color's a little light. All right.
Yeah, a little light, yeah. Her eyes are not necessarily brown, I don't think.
What color are they? What
They
color
look
is
like they
this?
probably hazel or something. I don't know. I can't really tell.
Hazel.
Look at the picture. I can't really tell from the pictures
Bro, you
I'm
know what
looking at.
color hazel is, man? That shit is gray.
Hazel is
She
not
got
gray,
brown
fam.
eyes.
Hazel is not
Hazel's
gray.
gray.
We gonna stop that right now.
All right. All
Hazel
right.
is not
Hold
gray.
on.
You bugging.
Hold on.
Hazel's like a caramel brown. You
Oh,
not.
that's just green.
It's not, hazel is not green, dog. It might have like
Google's
green,
saying it's
it
green,
might
bro.
have like some green strands in it, but it's not. It's not green. Man, nigga, you don't know what hazel is?
Bro, hazel. I guess not. Damn.
God, oh my God.
I could have swore.
Ignorant
Simpsons
motherfucker.
told me that shit was it was gray, man. All right.
All right, look. So Lori Harvey, right? She's mad attractive, but she is not your typical average black woman. Like she don't look like your sister or my sister. Like they not typically what people gonna see down the street. Like people who look like us, like who look like typical black women, who look like our family members, are probably not gonna be on that ring because they don't have they don't have those ties to those Eurocentric standards of beauty. And even now, like there's like a trend going on now where like a lot of people are starting to fetishize and like realize like that for some reason that like black Africans or like black African women are beautiful. But typically when they go, they start to look at like Sudanese women and like Ethiopians and shit because they have that weird look to them, and it's typically like have like Eurocentric features.
I'm not a fan of this conversation at all.
Why
Right?
not?
This is cause man, I don't want to subscribe to this belief. I don't want to. I don't want to. It's gotta be a way to make it known that everything you're saying is wrong, man. I want you to be wrong so badly.
But hey, man, I don't make these rules. I'm just a social observer and just observe things from like the way the world looks at things. I think things are getting better where people are starting to be like, oh, black people actually kind of look good. But typically when they say black people look good, it's like mixed people look good, and it's not like regular black people who look good. Or there's another like weird thing where it's like if a black woman looks good, there's a fetish where I notice that she has to be like completely black, and it's like probably like less than 1% of people who like less than 1% of people who like that. But they're like, oh, look how beautiful she is. She's as black as your t-shirt right now. Like, it's weird how like regular black people are just not. I'm not saying they're not considered attractive, but in the grand sense, in the grand scheme of things, like they're not. Like we know we attractive. Like you know you attractive as hell. I know I'm attractive as hell. Our culture, our community, our people know we are. You know, people who might be more exposed to us know that we are. But if you were to ask the world, are we? Probably not.
So what are we supposed to do with that?
I think we need to just start upholding and uplifting ourselves more and just like telling like I've seen videos on like social media where like people are like just chastising their kids because they came out like the way that they didn't expect them to come out. Like the kid might have been dark and they're like, oh, you just ugly or something crazy like that. I've seen like a couple of videos of that. So I think we just need to start uplifting ourselves more and understanding like we have value and translating that to other people by just like loving each other. I don't know how else to put that. And not that it matters. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't really personally. I don't give a shit because I know like how I feel about me and the people around me. But it's just something that I just observed and I thought was worth having a conversation about.
I guess it's. I mean, it's shitty that we have to say this, but like, don't do that to your kids, folks. Like, if they come out looking how you didn't expect them to look, like, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to live in that body, so like, you can just don't be a dick to your children. Public service announcement for the day. But also, yes, love yourself. Don't give a fuck about whatever the world says is a standard of beauty, because that standard of beauty ain't shit. Because you're the shit. You can run tell that.
You could run to. Is that a new thing they saying in the streets these days?
Bro, that's Martin, dog.
Oh
You can run
shit!
tell that.
Oh, you right.
Homeboy. Damn, dog. Been in
Yeah,
corporate
you right.
America too long, son.
Yo, get out of here, boy. I ain't never turn it. Yo, you bugging. Yeah, you right. Nah, I think that's a beautiful way of putting it. A nice red little bow, but you know, it is what it is. I think it's the standard of the
It
show.
is what it is, man.
Black is
Can't do
beautiful,
shit
y'all.
else with the world
Black is
until
beautiful.
you love yourself. Y'all sleeping on the black folk, but it's okay. It's okay. It's more for us. It's whatever. Y'all want to appreciate it. It's cool. I appreciate us. That's for damn sure. I think that's all I got, bro.
All right, man. Well, I think y'all heard it all. With that being said, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, make sure y'all catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts on. And please leave a comment, leave us a review, let us know what you think about this conversation. And as always, Drew, I'll catch you on the next one, man. Deuces.
Peace out, bro.